like with myself, of course, Texas is huge in powerlifting. We didn't get powerlifting until, at least when I grew up, was like till my senior year in high school. And then, of course, did it in college, and then, of course, went to the collegiate rank deal. And then there's that, I always talk about cheese and, let me slow down here. Hold on, I'm rambling. That doesn't help any. With the sacrifice, like I said, I'm at a meet. That's way too much caffeine right now. But, no, where I'm coming from with the lifting, with the background part, is with the high school deal lifting that. Then whenever I played college football, got out of that, got into powerlifting, trying to figure out what to do next because, I'm doing, I call it straight training by Cliff Notes. All I was doing was watching Westside videos, trying to figure out what to do. I ended up opening a gym to bring in powerlifters in a lake community, which never worked. So then, I'm 22 years old, 23 years old on junior world teams and stuff. And then I get out of the sport for 5 years. I get with bad attitude of all gyms in Texas. And then my lifting went from, my goal when I got back in the sport was to do like 900-pound squat. I ended up doing 1,100, 1,200. But the sacrifice aspect, it's not, I don't really look at, of course, like you're talking about, your friends become training partners becomes friends. I mean, like here, I'm at a meet right now for a 2-day meet, hanging out with kids and just having a blast talking about powerlifting the whole time. I do this every weekend and then pull a 60-hour-a-week job. So, I mean, like here's a good example, too. I had a Facebook message from a mom. And like I said, a lot of the kids will drive an hour to Dallas to come train with me to work. They work out with me. And she had a letter about sacrifice, which is kind of interesting that we're talking about that. And she, she was venting out about this and that. And I said, you got to get in the gym to get stronger. Now, of course, these kids are focusing. They have an actual Texas high school powerlifting is huge in Texas. So we're 2 months out, the holidays and everything else. She's like, well, the sacrifice of this, I have to do this. And I'm like, but you have to get in the gym if you want your kid to win. And, it's just, you choose, if you're going to choose, like a lot of these kids have boyfriends, girlfriends. Now, I'm not talking about the kids and stuff, but, that kind of reflects with mine, with relationships and everything else. It's kind of like, well, what are you going to do this weekend? Well, I'm going to a powerlifting meet. Well, why are you going to a powerlifting meet? Well, that's what I do. I said, well, I thought you had a job. I said, well, I do have a job. I'm going to a powerlifting meet. And, I do have a job. But, it's, it's always lifting. It's around that all the time, which is great. You build relationships and everything else, and it works that way. But you do have to choose, at some point, like what AJ was talking about, if you're going to be, go for a world record, or if you're just doing it for fun or doing it for fitness or whatever your goals are, you have to define. That's one thing with like Sean Dunnigan and the guys with Bad Attitude. What do you want out of the sport? And then of course I had a good grasp on it when I did all the collegiate and the juniors and I did a ton of meets when I in my 20s like I do now. So of course, when like I said, the 5 years, drinking beer and eating cheese sticks when I didn't do anything. But with all that, I'm still involved in the sport now. I give back more to it to involve my life around powerlifting. So it's not now. Of course, like that mom with the letter talking about sacrifice, going, we have other things besides powerlifting, and I'm like, well, don't call me then. I said because that's what I do on the weekends. I'm Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm powerlifting. I go right back to work, 60 hours a week during the week. So,
that kind of goes into my next. It goes into my next question.